Alright, here we are back inside. I did take off the top solar panel. I did put on the bottom one, or the A right there. And I'm wondering if I should just keep them symmetrical like that for drag. Or if I should like stick one here and one here. And, well, I guess I'll keep them like this because they don't turn sideways. They just tilt forward and backwards. And so I'd have to be very careful about how I land this thing for it to catch enough sunlight from the sun. Well, of course, sunlight from the sun, but enough sunlight to actually keep it functional. Now, the other thing I needed was a ladder. A good functional ladder. Let's head down so I can see how far this is. That probably won't be far enough even on the Mun. But we do have, what's it called? The Tellus LV Bay Mobility Enhancer. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. We'll just set that right there. Now, if that's not long enough to make it, I don't know what is. That's that's going to be our ladder. Excellent. Okay, so we have our lights. We were supposed to have a battery, right? We have yes, this battery I was going to stick right there on top for charge, whatnot, whatnot. And speaking of which, how much does this use? Electrical charge 100 over 100, so it doesn't matter. So that gives us slightly more electrical charge, I guess is how that works. Yeah, 500. So the whole thing will have about a 600 unit charge, and that's not bad. So even if it doesn't get sunlight, even if it gets like crappy sunlight, it'll still last for a little while. And I'm probably not going to be up there that much, right? All right. Well, so this is our test Mun base. So well, Moon base, Mun base. I don't know. So we're going to call this Mun base 1. Yay, Mun base 1. Save. Save the Mun base. And I'm feeling like I'm missing something. I don't know what it is yet. I don't need parachutes. I don't really need the tiny ladder. Okay, well, we're going to assume this is all I need for now. I mean, this is the Mun base, right? Right. So done. Done and done on the Mun. Yay, right? Well, now we need a rocket. I moved all my parts around. I need clamp. I don't need an SAS stability augmentation system spin, auto stabilize, sickness avoid solution, whatever you choose to call it. It makes the ship stop spinning around. Well, I guess same size as my clamp. I don't need that on this. What I need is something to take this into that, up into the space place where space stuff happens. I'm having a thought, and it's a bad thought, and that's why I'm kind of pausing here. I don't know if I can do this. Let's find out. I'm not going to tell you what it is either. Haha, so you're going to have to wait. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Oh, I'm not nice like that. I'm a very bad person like that. Aha! Wait, is that right? I don't even know if that's right. If that's the right clamp to use. Clampotron docking port allows for the firm attachment of two separated vessels after docking vessel. Yeah, okay. No, what I was thinking, and you might think this is a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. Is to use the clamps to launch the spaceship into the space place. I think this is backwards. I don't know. It might be backwards. I don't think you're supposed to do it like that. You might. Like I said, I don't know. But I was just thinking maybe you could just and then fly it up into space. But that would probably be a bad idea. So we're going to do this the old-fashioned way with real clamps. Real clamps, real engines, not the Xenon, although the Xenon engine is so cool. So propulsion, that's what we need. No, that's not what we need. We need structure because we need a separator. We need a good separator. Ah, stack decoupler. Wow, that's such a small stack decoupler. You don't have anything bigger? Bigger stack decoupler. TR-18D, the TR-2C is a utility for slicing a rocket into two halves, but now in a more compact size. Yeah, that's what I need, a smaller one. Stack decoupler is equipped with a hopefully small explosive charge that will sever the structural linkage between itself and whatever it's connected to. Yeah, but it's so big. Or, excuse me, it's not big enough. It's tiny. Look at how tiny that is. It's not big enough. It's not big enough. The base of C7 nose cone system. Well, yeah, no. No. Standard scale adapter for linking FL series and random max brand parts. Well, I guess that would be big enough. I mean, technically speaking, yeah. For the decoupler, but that's not going to do me any good. I mean, look at that. That's terrible. That's terrible looking. That's horrible. That's That's the most horrendous thing I've ever seen. Plus, I need to get this thing to land, right? That was my thing. Okay. This is all so new and confusing, and I'm wasting your time. So what I'm going to try to do is try to put an engine on this that will get us landed on the moon correctly, and then I'm going to try to build a rocket around it. So I will be right back as soon as I figure out which engine goes down here. Alright everyone, welcome back. Ha ha ha, quite a change. As you see here, this is not the moon-based rocket. I just want you to know that right away. This is because I need to test a couple of things. While I was trying to figure out which engine to put on here, I found that this is the fuel tank you use, and the fuel tank was just big enough to add to the lander legs. And I thought, hey, that's great. So I added the lander legs, I added the engine. So this is our new moon base. It's only big enough for 2 Kerman, and there's no docking port, right? Well, that's because, if you notice, I put a docking port on top, and the reason I did this is, as you can see, there are 2, is I don't know how these work. I don't know how they go together, whether you're supposed to put them one on top of the other, whether you're supposed to flip them around, or what. So I needed to test how you dock and undock these, and in order to do that, I needed a way to separate the parts, and that's what these are for. Now, I'm fairly certain this thing's going to explode as soon as we get out there. There is almost no question of that. Something's going to go wrong and blow up. But for the purposes of this little jaunt thing, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to separate the... I hate you. I need you to know this. I do not like when you do this. Down. Why is this not... Oh, I think Jeff was right about this. And when I say Jeff, I mean when F Jeff. He was like talking about how this doesn't work properly anymore. And I think I know what his meaning is. It's just, it's fighting me for some reason. It doesn't want to go. Fine, here. It's got to go into one of these. I know it. Come here. There we go. Okay. I'm not ever going to have to do that again, I hope. But, so that does mean drag and drop still works. Anyway. So, I will see you out on the runway to test out this docking clamp to see if I set it up right. But, just so you know, this is our moon-based one. And it's actually a pretty cute little guy in comparison to some of the other ones I built. So, minus that, let's head out to the runway and see what's up. Alright, everybody, welcome back to the runway. It is a little unstable. I'll say that. You know, the physics engine kicked in, and if you notice, everything's kind of bent a little bit. I mean, it's not exactly stable. I guess I could have put space tape between them, and that would have helped, but it doesn't. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. So I gotta zoom in really quick and look at these and say decouple node, disable crossfeed, control from here. Control from here is not what I want. Okay, so I'm not going to release the docking clamps, so I have to be very careful with these thrusters, because if the docking clamps are not released, these things will try to rip everything off. So I'm going to ignite stage 1 and give them a little bit of thrust. Just a little bit of thrust. So if I say decouple node, okay, control from here, not working. Okay, what's going on? Shutting off my engines don't work anymore. That doesn't work either. This is the magnetics, by the way, that is holding all this together. Let's see what our docking says. Well, excuse me. It's set as target. One of these had set as target. I think it was this. Okay. There, it's set as target. Yeah, so this is going to be something I have to learn, unfortunately. But for the moment, anyway, you know, the whole magnetic sticking together thing's kind of cool. But apart from the fact that I can't control the 2 parts or pieces, that's kind of annoying, and it's starting to wobble a little bit. So we're going to restart this. Restart flight, in flight, restart flight. And we're going to see which parts of these I need to decouple in order to make them work properly, because all I want to do is decouple it and have these fly off. If I can do that, then I know I've done it right. If not, then I know I've done it wrong. And I think I've done it wrong. So we're going to try to... No, do not release clamp. We're going to try to do it... Oh yeah, it really wants to tear those off. Okay, so I want to decouple node. Whee! Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, little rockets. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, Now that my little rockets are flying high into the wild blue yonder, I won't be able to end them, really, as much as I wanted to now. Oh, here we go. Okay, so they're flying. That's actually pretty awesome that they're doing that so stably. So yeah, that's how you decouple apparently, and I don't know how to couple, but that's how you decouple, I guess. So you couple the pin to this point, is how it works. I think that's how it's supposed to work. So that might actually be a good structure though for taking off into space. Not great, mind you, but not bad either. So anyway, let's go ahead and end this. In flight. Tracking station, because we need to end my other flight too. The Moonbase 1. If you notice there's a giant crater here now. I don't think there used to be a crater there before. Okay, and then we'll end this flight as well, even though I can test this engine if I wanted to. Say, activate engine? Yeah. And then... there we go. Nice little thrust. See how much power it's using. Electrical something. Okay, I don't know what that means. And then... okay, it burns fuel pretty quick. At maximum power, but I won't be using it for more than just landing, I think, so I should be okay. I should be okay. Oh yeah, I should be just fine. Okay, so end flight. End flight. And then I'll see you back inside. Alright, so welcome back inside. I tore off all the little bits and bobs that we don't need, and I was staring at this thing again and having yet another thought. This is so much fun, you just can't stop it. You're looking at it like, I have to have fun with this, I don't know how. So what you do is you do crazy things like this, and you put that back, and you're like, oh, okay, well, what are you doing? I don't understand. And you know, I think I got this wrong. I think that's the problem, is it's supposed to go like that. And those are the interior clamps, and I think that's what I was doing wrong. So you can only you could only decouple from one side. But what I'm doing here, for all you crazy people out there, is I am having myself a think. I honestly is. I was having myself a think. And I'm not think that this is going to be work like I thought it'd be. Yeah, I said all those things. I said all those things. Compact fuel container for small spacecraft, or probed backup tank for other small spacecraft or probes. Well, that's teeny tiny. That teeny tiny. That's not what I need. No, I'm not going to do this right now. I will do this later. It ain't going to happen right now. The whole point of this was to get this onto the moon, and that is what we are going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get this guy up on the moon, because that is our job today. That is our job today. But Moonbase 1 is such a silly name. We'll have to rename it. Remind me to rename it before we're done. You know, throw it in the comments or something. Okay. Once again, I'm boring you with this because I don't even know how I'm going to put a rocket on this. I can put it below it, I can put it above it, I can wrap it around it. So once again, I'm going to pause until I can figure out which end of this thing I want to stick a rocket onto. And then I will be right back as soon as I start building that just for you guys. So I'll see you in just a moment. Alright everyone, this is what I've come up with for our first test. And the reason it is so light looking and so tiny looking is because watching other people do Let's Plays of 0.18, they made some changes to mass and thrust, so even though the numbers you see are the same numbers, they're not calculated the same way. So I don't think I need as big a rocket to get up there as I would have previously. Without a functional mechanical jeb to tell me exactly what my thrust to rate ratio is, I'm pretty much screwed. But we're going to go ahead and try to get this one up first. Worst comes to worst, we'll just cancel the flight, rebuild it, do it again, but this is what we're going with for now. So it's not even an asparagus build either. Each one of these rockets is its own rocket, and the center one isn't going to fire until the last minute. And that's why I got that big rocket on there. So we'll see what happens, and I'll see you out at the runway.